I'm Peter Barragon, yoga teacher. I'm happy to offer some short yoga classes for you to try at home. Let's begin on our hands and knees. Come into a tabletop position with your hands right below your shoulders, your knees below your hips. Begin with cat and cow. This is an exhale to lift the spine and arch the back. Hold this pose, tucking in your chin, tucking under your tail. And then begin to inhale to look forward, lifting your tail, chest, and nose. When you begin to exhale your next breath, again rounding up your back, pressing through your hands, lifting through and up from your chest. And again, begin to exhale, come back to tabletop. Curl the toes and lift into downward dog. From downward dog, exhale to lower onto your knees. Uncurl your toes and gently sink back, not going into child's pose, but just giving the outer arms and the lower back a different type of stretch. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift back to all fours. Exhale, cat pose. The reverse. Cow pose, lifting the chin, tail. Exhale to round up your back, cat. Inhale, flat back. Curl the toes to downward dog. Exhale. Now in this downward dog, begin to lift and drop your heels, pedaling your feet, bending at the knees, and creating a nice, easy stretch for your lower back. Ensure that your head is between your arms. The back of your head seems flush with your back arms. From here, exhale onto your knees and separate the knees and sink right into child's pose. If your head doesn't quite come to the floor, without struggling, you can use a pillow, a yoga block, or just stack your hands. Allow your breathing to be smooth and slow and through the nose. As you inhale, begin to lift up and return to your hands and your knees. In this position, with hands and knees in line with hips and shoulders, look to the right as you take your right arm out to the side, turn your chest towards the right side of your room, and then exhale to lower your hand. Other side, left arm goes out and up. As you sweep it out and up, you're turning your chest, turning your nose, and then lowering the hand to the floor. Try this again to each side. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. And gently release. From here, walk your hands to the right side of the mat, giving the right ribs a little squeeze, looking down over your shoulder. Inhale and walk your hands back to center and over now to the left side. Good. As you walk back to center, walk your hands forward, move your knees back, and slowly sink towards the floor onto your hips. Stack your hands below your forehead and rest here. Keeping the elbows out and your legs feeling long. Complete one more slow and easy in-breath and a long, slow and easy out-breath. Inhaling to lift your head, pull your elbows in under your shoulders, resting on your forearms with your palms down, making sure that your elbows are forward slightly of your shoulders and that you're not tucked into what might look like the start of a cobra. With your hands flat on the floor, looking forward, take a long breath out that settles you into your legs, your hips, and allow the next inhale, when ready, to lift the chest but lower the shoulders, creating just a little bit of a squeeze into the lower back, but a nice refreshing stretch for your front body, the tummy, the neck. As you start to exhale, pull the elbows out so you can gently lower to the floor, and place your hands below your shoulders to press up and back to child's pose. Let child's pose be one that you can hang out in for as long as you like. You can pause this video and then return when you feel ready to continue. Continuing to let your breath be smooth. When you begin your next breath, lift yourself up onto all fours. And again in your tabletop. This time, taking your hands out a little wider, but keeping your knees somewhat below your hips where you were. And then we'll circle the hips around the knees. Adjust your hands if it feels too much pressure into the fingers or wrists, keeping your hands wider than your shoulders. As you scoop your hips around in a circular way, you might want to bend your elbows and drop into the floor just a little bit from the chest, so you feel that all the big limbs, all the big joints, and the space of your back is taking some of this movement and feeling this completely. Change direction when you feel ready. And then you'll return to center. Here we're going to come around onto our back. Rest on your back. If you need a block or a pillow to support your head, use something like this. This is just a couch pillow, and settle into your back. Once here, keep your knees bent, arms come up towards the ceiling, and a long breath out that settles your arms and floats them towards the floor. Inhale to lift your arms, reach up, and give your hands a little shake as they rest up above your body, shaking out your wrists, your fingers, your elbows, your shoulders. Keep the breath even, and just feel that settling in your hips, your feet, your back, and your shoulders. Now from here, we'll take hold of our right leg. So reach for your right knee and gently pull it towards you, but without too much effort. Slide your left leg straight towards the floor and press through the heel. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. When you start to exhale, slide your left foot back in, and we're just going to switch our hands over to that leg. So over to the left as you lower your right, leg straightens into the floor. Press all the way down, press into the hips, down through the leg, through the heel, giving your left leg just enough of a hug, but without too much effort. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Good. When you start to exhale, pull that foot back in, knees in towards the chest, and then begin circles with your knees. Just a nice, easy movement that allows you to notice the pelvis and the lower back, the inner legs, and even the shoulders as you rotate and swirl through the shoulders a little bit here. As you come back to center with both legs, lift your feet towards the ceiling and relax your legs. So no pushing or pulling through your heels or legs or your toes. Take your hands and make a little fist, just curling your fingers, and very lightly just tap the back of the legs. Bringing some blood flow from the toes to the hips to the heart. You can tap the calves, the inner legs, the top of the thighs or the front of your legs, the inner legs, wherever it feels natural to continue to move. Even the hips and around the buttocks and back of the legs. This will help just stimulate some blood flow, soften some connective tissue, and the tighter muscles if you're just waking up and trying this. Good. From there, bend your knees towards your chest. Exhale to lift your head. Look through your legs. And all the way down. From here, one foot to the floor and then the other. Bring your legs close together and move your arms out to your sides. Turn your head to the right so you're looking out towards your right arm, which is no higher than your shoulder. And then take your knees as you exhale and drop them to the left side of the mat. Inhale to bring the legs back to center. Exhale the other way, turning your head to the left and your knees to the right. In this position, try not to pull or push yourself. Just allow the weight of the legs and the rhythm of your breath create that settling and that little wakening up of the lower back. Inhale, come back to center, and you can do this a couple more times from side to side. You don't necessarily have to hold it, but just if it feels natural or more comfortable, just continuing to move back and forth, but making sure that the exhale follows the release of the movement to each side. So you're taking the knees and the head in opposite direction as you exhale. Once you come back to center, separate your feet, bring your arms up once again, giving your hands a little shake, shaking out your shoulders, shaking out your elbows, and just feeling that little release that might drop into the shoulders, the chest, and the back. And then from here, we're going to rub our hands, rub your hands, only to really notice that you're creating a little bit of warmth there, just a little bit of attention into the hands. And then from there, gently cupping your eyes, closing your eyes, and we'll take 3 breaths together. As you start to exhale, remove your hands from your face, release your arms to the floor, and if you'd like to get a little more comfortable for Shavasana, you can use a blanket underneath the back of your legs or a bigger pillow from the sofa or your bedroom, and just rest it somewhere where it feels comfortable to really settle into the legs. This pose you can hold between 5 and 20 minutes. If you want a little bit more of a restorative position, you can bring your feet up over the seat of your sofa or a chair or a stool or anything that's comfortable and about knee height, resting your legs like that. Each leg rests and then you settle. Otherwise, a blanket will work for this as well. So get yourself into this last position and rest here for up to 20 minutes if you have that time today, and practice this either first thing in the morning, just to wake up and come into your space and feel your body, noticing your breath, or do this in the evening before bed or after dinner, just to relax and unwind and to ground back down. We'll rest together for a couple of breaths, and if this is a pose you want to stay in, this is the time to pause this video and resume when you feel ready to lift up. Bringing both feet in. If you have something under your legs, a blanket or a pillow, just remove it and slide your hips to the left side of your mat, lift and drop, and then roll yourself to your right. Rest yourself on your right side with your left hand on the floor. And as you exhale, gently press yourself up and come into a seated position, one that's comfortable, using a block or a blanket to sit on. I have an inspiration or a prayer jar, and I want to pick one out for us, for you, for the day or the night, wherever you're practicing. So without looking, I'll pull one out. And the word I picked is relaxation. So it could be an evening practice, could be a day practice, morning practice. Bring your hands together at your heart. Relax your shoulders. And if you're continuing, this can be a seated meditation, meditating on the word relaxation, or ease, or calm, peace. If you'd like to sit a little longer, rest your hands either into your lap or out on towards your knees. Palms up, thumbs and index fingers touch.